In 1922, deep in the forest of Bavaria, Germany, stood a lonely farmhouse. It was all quiet, surrounded by trees, fields, and silence. This place was called Hinterkaifeck. The people who lived there were the Gruber family. Andreas Gruber, the father, strict and suspicious, his wife Cecilia, their daughter Victoria, recently widowed. Her two children, 7-year-old Cecilia and 2-year-old Joseph, and a maid who had just arrived, replacing another who had quit because the house, she said, was haunted. But what happened next was not the work of a ghost, it was something or someone far worse. In the weeks leading up to the murder, stranger things started to happen on the farm. Andres found footprints in the snow leading from the edge of the forest directly to the house, but there were no footprints going back. At night, the family heard footprints in the attic, but when Andrea searched it, no one was there. A newspaper appeared inside the house that none of them had purchased, and keys began to go missing. Everyone felt it, that creeping sense that something was wrong, that they were not alone. The former maid refused to return. She told the family and neighbors that something evil was living in the house, but no one believed her. On the evening of March 31st, 1922, the farm went quiet. The family had their last meal. Nothing seemed unusual from the outside. But during the night, someone, perhaps someone already inside, began to act. Andreas was the first to be lured into the barn. There, in the cold dark, he was struck in the head with a heavy tool, likely a pickaxe. Then, one by one, the others were led outside, his wife, Victoria, and young Cecilia. Each one was brutally murdered, their skulls crushed. Later, the killer entered the house. He found the maid sleeping in her room and killed her. Then, he walked into the baby Joseph's room. He did not spare the child. The bodies in the barn were found laid together, covered with hay. The baby and the maid were left in their beds. But the most terrifying part is what happened after the murders. For the next 4 days, someone stayed at the farm. The cows were milked, the dog was fed, meals were cooked, smoke rose from the chimney. Whoever had done this lived in the house, surrounded by the corpses of their victims, as if it were their home. When neighbors noticed the family missing, they finally went to check, and they found horror. The police investigated for months. Over 100 people were interviewed. Suspects came and went, including Victoria's rumored lover, and soldiers believed to have died in the war. But there was no evidence, no arrest, no confession. One theory said the killer had been living in the attic for weeks, listening, waiting, and watching. Others believe it was someone close, someone the family knew, but the truth was never found. The farmhouse was destroyed the following year. No one wanted to live there. And still over a century later, the case remains unsolved. The Hinterkaifeck murders are not just a mystery. They are a nightmare frozen in time. A story with no ending, no justice, no peace. One quiet night, 6 people died, and a killer who vanished without a trace. Some crimes fade with time, but this one lingers. Because when a house watches you back, sometimes it's already too late.